in this movie. There's time to fine-tune it, and, well, we can only hope. But now the only thing, like I said, we'd have to wait till November. I feel this actually gives them, like, ample time, like I said, to put everything together, fine-tune what they need to fine-tune, just put finishing touches. Yes, and I feel this is going to be huge. This is actually going to be a huge one. It's going to be a huge one, and it actually has the potential to actually compete on an international level if it's done right. My thoughts, though, I want to hear what your thoughts are on this one. What did you think about the trailer of this movie? What are you expecting to see in this movie? What were you blown away? Actually, were you as shook as I was when I first saw it? I want to know. I want to know everything. Drop a comment across all of our social media platforms on Facebook and YouTube at African Patriots Radio. Or send us a tweet at African Patriots 7. Do not go anywhere. We're gonna take listen to some music now. Take a musical break. When I come back, I'll be giving you news in between and a little something on Recipe Special. Do not go anywhere.
It's Blaze and the Big Baby.
One man fit carry plenty woman. Hypocrite around and say I'm mystical. Me I no sound I like to do man. It no matter if they identical. Black as you Melanie, Angelina oh my joy. Undisputed oh my medallion. She dey give me on a daily. I like it black as you Melanie, Angelina oh my joy. Undisputed oh my medallion. She dey give me on a daily. Them say I too ugly. As I make money, the girl them come around. See the girl them come around. They say I too ugly. As I make money, the girl them come around. See the girl them come around. Angelina kill it person. Angelina die mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh no. Angelina kill it person. Angelina die mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh yeah na na. Sikira oh sikira. Yetinde oh yetinde ah. Sikira oh yeah sikira. The way you give me the comparada. Sikira oh sikira show. Sikira oh sikira ah. Sikira oh sikira. Like as you Melanie, Angelina oh my joy. Undisputed oh my medallion. She dey give me on a daily. I like it like as you Melanie, Angelina oh my joy. Undisputed oh my medallion. She dey give me on a daily. Them say I too ugly. As I make money, the girl them come around. See the girl them come around. They say I too ugly. As I make money, the girl them come around. See the girl them come around. Angelina kill it person. Angelina die mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh no. Angelina kill it person. Angelina die mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh yeah na 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 na. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh la 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 la.
It's Victory and the Bits.
Dun 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 dun. Angela, when I think all you answer, what the hell in my oh. That's why we get to Allah. Not until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey, we zero wahala. Not until until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. So, hey, with zero wahala. She the boss my brain like. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Love for Mona Kigebi. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. For your love, I don't grow up, yeah. Marry me, let's born children. Hold my hands, let me take you there. I push up on me, yeah. For your love, I don't grow up, yeah. Marry me, let's born children. Hold my hands, let me. Auntie Vanessa. When I think I'll leave the answer. Mother calling my oh. That's why we get to Allah. Not until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey, we zero wahala. Not until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey, we zero wahala. She the boss my brain like. Yeah. Love for Mona Kigebi. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Love for Kanaku. Yele. Madam in Chopa Proof. Yele. Now so him I sharpen. Yele. He enter Eve heaven. Yele. Love for Kanaku. Yele. Madam in Chopa Proof. Yele. Now so him I sharpen. Yele. He enter Eve heaven. Yele. But shock on me, yeah. For your love, I don't grow, baby. Marry me, let's born children. Hold my hands, let me take you there. I could shock on me, yeah. For your love, I don't grow, baby. Marry me, let's born children. Hold my hands, let me Auntie Vanessa.
Let me know on the mix.
I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful.
Once upon a time in our lives, yeah, situations stabbing like knives, yeah, questions rising, how do I fight, yeah, that is not for you and me, leave everything to the king, you need to feel nice, yeah, painful feeling makes you alive, yeah, I know that man feeling likewise, yeah, thanks and praises to the king, after suffering comes relief. Life is hard and I can understand. Things we see sometimes don't match up to what we deserve. Not the same thing. Everywhere you live, you smile, you love. Hey, this ugly shouldn't be when you're the one involved. You were beautiful in every way. Sun or rain, you have me any day. Price for joy, you name it, I will pay. I will never trade you for no one in any way. They see bearing in you, I see babe. I embrace. You were star, no one can take your place. I will never trade you for no one on any day. Doesn't feel right, yeah. How they do me bad but flex life, yeah. They cheat me but still they leave large, yeah. Where's the drive to stay good when surrounded by evil? You need to love still, yeah. Let go from unless you won't heal, yeah. That is. Trouble, pain, they disappear when you wait, you wear a chair. Life is hard and I can understand. Things we see sometimes don't match up to what we deserve. Not the same thing. Everywhere you live, you smile, you love. Hey, this ugly shouldn't be when you're the one involved. You were beautiful in every way. Sun or rain, you have me any day. Price for joy, you name it, I will pay. I will never
hope you enjoyed those beautiful songs that were played. I told you when we come back, I'm gonna be giving you a little something, well, a little recipe, something to help you relax at home. Something you can make at home by yourself. Yes, I said that. Well, my name is still M. If you just tuned in, well, you probably missed the segment, but it's never too late. But you know what to say? Well, you know what to say? It's better late than never, right? Yeah. Well, my name is M, and this is still African Patriots Radio. So I'm gonna be giving you a little rundown for those of us who like experimenting at home or doing stuff ourselves, trying new things, especially in the kitchen. I know a lot of ladies are guilty of that. Well, I'm guilty as charged, and I want to share something very special with you. Now, if you're a big fan of pancakes, sorry, like the way we call it, pancake. If you're a big fan of that, I'm actually here to bring you good news. It's good news in, well, I feel like it's good news because a lot of people probably do not know this, and it's something that we have tried, and surprisingly, I tried, and surprisingly, it turned out right, or it came out well. Now, for most people, you want to make pancakes. You need a flour, you need baking powder, amongst other things. But now today, I'm going to be giving you like tips, a rundown of how to prepare like your pancakes, delicious pancakes using semovita. Yeah, you heard me right. The same one you put and make into swallow and that you eat with soup. That very one. So yeah, I'm going to be teaching you how to prepare pancakes with semovita, and just in case you run out of flour at home and then you're feeling, oh, I really want to make this and I don't have flour, and well, you have no problem. You seriously have nothing to worry about. You can just simply substitute the flour for semovita. Most people actually enjoy taking pancakes for breakfast mostly. I for one know that's well, it's not, we don't take it every day in my house, but it's something that every single person in the house actually enjoys. So yeah, now one thing you should know about making pancakes here, especially, well, the one I'm going to be giving you today with semovita, which is pretty much same thing like the normal way. If you know how to make pancakes, like I told you, in case you run out of flour, all you need to do is substitute for semovita. And I'm going to do now. Cooking time for this, depending on the quantity though, cooking time for this should take you roughly 7 to 10 minutes if you're cooking for like a small group. By small group, I mean like probably like 4 people, 5 people. Like I said, it all depends on the quantity you're cooking. Now, we know pancakes actually fall under carbohydrates. They have like a certain amount of fat too. Like, remember, almost everything we've been telling you on diet plan, if you've been paying attention, we told you that there's a certain amount of nutrients, that every nutrient actually has a certain amount that you need in your body per day. Now, you need to be cautious of the quantity of whatever you're using when it comes to cooking your meal. Now, I'm going to be giving you a rundown of quantities now. Now, this one, what I'm going to be giving you now would actually serve like 4 to 6 people, depending on their appetite still. Now, the ingredients you need like a cup of semovita. You need 1.5 cups of milk. You need 1 egg. You need half a spoon of baking powder. I think the ones they call low fat butter. Don't have access to that. I think it'd actually be nice if you can use olive oils. Olive oils are actually very healthy too, and trust me, they do a lot of good in your body. Now you need a quarter cup of melted butter or oil, and I actually advised olive oil. You need a quarter cup of that. You need quarter cup of honey. Now, I'm not going to say honey or sugar because we know sugar is not good. Honey is actually like, and when I'm talking honey, I mean like natural honey. Now, how you can actually know honey is good? You see, good honey, natural honey, they actually normally do not attract ants. So if you see honey around and there's no ants around, there's every possibility that honey is actually natural. It's good. But the moment you start seeing ants around, you know it has been adulterated. Now, then you need a pinch of cinnamon. Yeah, that's about all you need. Now, instructions for cooking. It actually pour the semovita into a clean bowl. Pour the semovita into a clean bowl and like add all the dry ingredients. Now, dry ingredients, I mean, if you're using powdered milk, add your powdered milk into it. The pinch of cinnamon, like basically everything. Baking powder, like I said before, please, I'm not going to advise you to use sugar, but a lot of people use sugar, but then just watch the quantity you put in. I feel honey is actually a better alternative. So get a clean bowl, put your semovita into it, and put all the dry ingredients in it. So we're talking cinnamon, baking powder, the semovita. Then in another bowl, another clean bowl. Now mix all of your wet ingredients, which include if you're not using the powdered milk, the second bowl, your wet ingredients will now actually include like your 1.5 cup of milk, like I said, your milk. If it's not powder, include your eggs. You put your eggs into it. Your egg, actually, I said one egg. Put your egg into it. You put your melted butter, which is optional, except you want to use the olive oil. Now the butter is actually the reason you put melted butter in this here. It's actually to make it have its own oil, so it doesn't stick to the pan when you're frying it. So now the butter actually gives it a certain consistency. Now you put your melted butter in it and then you add your honey if that's what you're using. Then mix it thoroughly, like make sure everything is properly mixed. And immediately after that, pour the wet ingredients into the dry ingredients. You do that in a bowl. You could probably just turn the wet one into the bowl where the dry ingredients are. You put that in there and mix it thoroughly. Like you keep mixing until the semovita has been dissolved and every wet ingredient there is actually properly mixed with the dry one. Make sure you mix until you have a smooth consistency. That's what you need. You have a smooth consistency. You keep mixing until that smooth consistency is achieved. Then shortly after that, you put a bit of the butter in the pan. Now you're just greasing the pan. Like I told you, you do not need a lot of oil. Now even if you're using olive oil, like you just need like few drops in. It's just to grease the pan. It's not like you're frying okay, you don't even need a lot of oil for eggs. It's not like you're frying plantain or frying puff puff. It's not like you're frying puff puff. All you need is just little amount of oil. Now you do that, or you just use the butter and just grease the pan. You grease the pan and place it on medium heat. Put it on fire, place it on medium heat. Then you begin to pour your pancake batter into it. Now you put it in little by little in batches. Put it into the oil little by little in batches, and you fry it until it's like golden brown, or depending on how you want it. But just make sure it gets brown a bit, and then you flip it onto the other side and make sure the other side is the same. Well, that's pretty much it. There you have your pancake. You do that for the rest of the content, depending on their appetite. Well, that was it. I tried it. It turned out great for me, man. Your pancake is actually ready. If you've done all these, it can be served as breakfast or you can serve it as dessert. Anyone goes actually. And hey, you can accompany it with syrup if you want. I know someone who actually likes taking it with this chocolate syrup. I don't know why, but I know someone who's addicted to it. And then you can actually spice it up however you want, but it can be taken as either breakfast or dessert, whatever, however it works for you. Now, I've given you my recipe. I want you to try it. Tell me if you've thought of trying something like that. Tell me. I want to know if you've tried it. I want to know how it worked out for you. And if you haven't and you're going to try it, please, I want to know how it turns out. So when you try it, do sure to send us a message, drop a comment, send us pictures. I'd love to see what it turned out. Well, I want to see how it turned out for you. My name is still This has been Recipe Special. I just taught you how to make pancakes, whether or not you have flour, using semovita. I hope you learned a thing or two. Well, that's what I'm here for. I do this. Well, do not go anywhere because we have Information Africa News coming up next, and then I'll back for even the odds. You do not want to miss that.
Thanks for joining us and sticking around with us on the news on the hour. Time check Africa. The time is 1 p.m. in West Africa, 2 p.m. in Central and South Africa, and 3 p.m. in East Africa. This is Information African News, reaching you from African Patriots Radio. You can listen to this broadcast by live streaming at www.facebook.com/African Patriots Radio/videos. My name is Josephine Paul. President Cyril Ramaphosa has appointed Lusanda Zenge as Acting Director General in the Presidency and Secretary of the Cabinet, which took effect from 1st September 2020. Zenge, who has held the position of Deputy Director General Cabinet Office, will serve as Acting Director General for a period of 6 months or until the post is filled, whichever comes first. The acting appointment is done in terms of Section 32 of the Public Service Act of 1994 as amended, with all delegated powers attached to the post of Director General and Head of Department. The appointment follows the retirement of long-standing Presidency Director General Dr. Cassius Lubisi. Nearly a month after Mauritius declared an environmental emergency over an oil spill from a Japanese bulk carrier, the government has said Japan to pay up. Mauritius has asked Japan to pay close to 3.6 billion yen, that is 2.5 billion in euros or 34 million in dollars. in order to support local fishermen whose livelihoods were adversely impacted by an oil leak last month. This was made known in a Mauritian government document. According to the document, Mauritius has estimated a cost of over $30 million for constructing 100 fishing boats, while over $240,000 would be used for providing training to 475 fishermen and 60 skippers who may not have experience fishing in rough seas. In the world of business, the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) has ordered banks to henceforth pay 10% of its monetary policy rate (MPR) as the minimum interest rate on savings deposit. The Apex Bank announced this in a directive to banks signed by the CBN Director of Banking Supervision, Bello Hassan. The MPR is the benchmark interest rate of the CBN and it is presently 12.5%. This implies bank customers will now get 1.25% as a minimum interest rate on their savings deposit. On entertainment scene, Senegalese international singer Akon has laid the first stone of a new green and futuristic city in Senegal, which will be named after him, Akon City. The R&B artist says a big part in Americans who don't understand their culture. The new city being built south of Dakar will also try to ease congestion and overcrowding in the capital, while almost 4 million people live. The artist said he also wanted to show that while the coronavirus pandemic, the world doubting their economies in Africa, a Senegalese and an investor who could have stayed in the U.S. indefinitely decides to come to invest in his own country. In sport, 4 out of 31 regions will miss this year's National Athletics Championship organized by Athletics Tanzania (AT) in collaboration with Tanzania Olympic Committee (TOC), which is set to be staged early next week in Dar es Salaam. Athletics Tanzania's Information and Communication Officer Tulo Chambo revealed in a statement yesterday in Dar es Salaam that the 4 regions failed to meet the latest confirmation deadline dates set for the event, which was August 28th this year. The championship, which is expected to attract about 300 athletes from 27 regions, will be staged at the Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam from September 12th to 13th. Partly to mostly cloudy with 29 to 69 chance of rain is the weather forecast for Johannesburg, South Africa, at an average temperature of 70 degrees Celsius, with Nairobi, Kenya expected to be mostly sunny at 26 degrees Celsius, and Abuja, Nigeria, having variable clouds and scattered thunderstorms at 29 degrees Celsius. And that was Information African News as produced by Ekanem. Before we go, our African proverb for the day is a Ghanaian proverb that says, "Every dog is a lion at his own gate." Thank you so much for listening to the news on the hour. My name is Josephine Paul. Do have a good afternoon.
Yes.
Well, hello, good afternoon. And thank you for sticking with us. This is still your number one radio station, African Patriots Radio. My name is Ekanem, and it is time for the program Even the Odds. I am not alone today in the studio. I have with me a very important guest, and he goes by the name Barrister Seidu David Adinoye. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, madam.
Thank you for dropping by. Actually, thank you for honoring our invitation to be on this program today.
Thank you so much for having me. With all pleasure.
All right. Today on Even the Odds, we're actually going to be looking at something very important as regards every individual, every citizen in Nigeria. Now, I know we've actually, a lot of us are familiar with the phrase freedom of expression. But now today, we're actually going to be looking at the irony of this phrase, especially here in Nigeria. But first of all, let's consider the concept of freedom of expression, sir. Can you explain that to us?
Okay, thank you so much. The term freedom of expression is derived from two words, freedom and expression.
Okay.
Now, freedom of expression comes under a broad heading, which is the fundamental human rights. Freedom of expression is the ability of an individual to air his opinion about an issue without any form of restraint. Freedom of expression or right to freedom of expression falls under the term fundamental human rights. Before we go into that, you would need to also understand what fundamental human rights is.
Okay.
Now, fundamental human rights are the totality of all rights which an individual inherits merely because he is human with life, blood, soul, and spirit. If I would go over that again, human rights are the totality of all rights which an individual inherits merely because he is human with life, blood, soul, and spirit. That brings us to the point that it is your natural right to air your opinion. That is why you have your mouth, which is the medium with which you communicate. So the freedom of expression is your right to be able to air your opinion on an issue without let or hindrance. So with that, it gives us a better idea of what freedom of expression is.
Okay. All right, sir. We've heard that, but can we look at this in context of how it's contained in the Constitution, the Nigerian Constitution?
Yes. Now, the freedom of expression or right to freedom of expression is enshrined in the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended.
Yes.
And specifically Section 39. And it states, if I'm permitted to read that section of the Constitution, so that
go ahead, sir.
we can from there proceed to other things. This is the provision of the Constitution. Right to freedom of expression and the press. See, right to freedom of expression and the press. Section 39 sub 1 provides, and I read, every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference. Every person shall be entitled to freedom of expression, including freedom to hold opinions and to receive and impart ideas and information without interference. But the way our laws are structured in Nigeria, laws are not just made without restrictions and exceptions. So which now brings us to the second leg of Section 39, which is subsection 2 and subsection 3. I would go over that. Without prejudice to the generality of subsection 1 of this section, every person shall be entitled to own, establish, and operate any medium I would want us to underline that, because I'm still coming to that aspect. Operate any medium for the dissemination of information, ideas, and opinions, provided that no person other than the government of the federation or of a state or any other person or body authorized by the president on the fulfillment of conditions laid down by an act shall own, establish, or operate a television or wireless broadcasting station for any purpose whatsoever. But still coming to 3 of the of section 39, where all the restrictions, as I earlier said, are stated. Nothing in this section shall invalidate any law that is reasonably justifiable in a democratic society. Paragraph A. For the purpose of preventing the disclosure of information received in confidence, maintaining the authority and independence of courts, or regulating telephony, wireless broadcasting, television, or the exhibition of cinematograph films. The paragraph B, which is the last, imposing restrictions upon persons holding office under the government of the Federation or of a state, members of the armed forces of the Federation or members of the Nigeria Police Force or any or other government security services or agencies established by law. Now, if you do a community reading of this section, that's subsection 1 to subsection 3 with all the sub paragraphs, one thing is important and very, very key here. The fact that every Nigerian citizen has the inalienable right to air opinion, impart ideas, and even receive. It is a right that we have. Okay. But again, the Constitution limits rights of citizens. Why? Because where the right of another stops, that is where another person's right begins from. Now, the essence of the restrictions and exception is to forestall a state of anarchy and lawlessness.
All right.
You get? Now, in as much as an individual has the right to air his or her sincere opinion on any issue, the law has made provision for such rights to not be used in the infringement of another person's right. Okay. You can't say, oh, because I have this is what I'm interpreting section 39 of the Constitution now. You can't say, yes, because I have the right to air my opinion, you go the whole hog in saying whatever comes to your mind, irrespective of whether it is infringing on the right of another person or not. So that is why we have this subsection 3 to actually restrict the exercise of the right to freedom of expression. You get, and the press. So that is why the Constitution is in this form. But again, even when the provision of section 3 has empowered the government to make legislations to curtail such rights, those legislations in itself also should take cognizance of subsection 1. Now, what do I mean by that? A government, I think we are probably going, let me not jump the gun. Okay. Let's stop there first. I think we're still going to get to that point. So when we make it, when we relate it to issues that are currently happening.
I was actually going to go into that. Now, the thing is, you said something about freedom to air opinions about an issue.
Yes.
without any form of restraint or interference.
Yes.
You mentioned that, and now you said this applies to both individuals and the press.
Yes.
That's actually the angle I want us to tilt towards now. Now you said that this set of people now, individual citizens and the press alike, actually have this right. But then we still see instances of killing and detention and brutalization of men of the press. We're talking journalists and the likes.
Yes.
That actually still happens even today.
Yes. Like I said, you have the right to express your opinion. But as it stands in Nigeria right now, we've seen countless number of times where individuals and even members of the press express their opinions, and afterwards they are intimidated, they are harassed, they are unlawfully detained.
Yes.
Because for whatever reason, the opinion that they expressed most likely did not all go well for some section of individuals or the government. And for me, it is a misnomer. For me again, that is a clear violation of the content of the ground norm, which is the Constitution. That is the law of the land. Now, the only ground that the freedom of expression can, be circumscribed, that it can be limited, is if the opinion so expressed by an individual or the member of the press is tilts towards inciting, breach of peace, or it tilts towards creating a state of anarchy. That is when the right to freedom of expression can now be curtailed. And even in doing that, you still would have to follow the provisions of the law.
Okay.
I don't know if you're getting it. You still have to follow the provision of the law. Now, if someone hides under the right to freedom of expression to cause a state of anarchy, you get a state of breach of peace, what you would do is take the person into custody, carry out your interviews and investigation, and if you so deem it fit that this person has contravened the provisions of the law as it relates to breach of peace, within 24 hours or maximum 48 hours, if there's no court of 90-kilometer radius from the detention center, you would arraign such individual and let the court decide whether or not the person has violated the provisions of the law as it relates to breach of peace. So you don't harass people because they have violated the provisions of the law. You allow the law run its course to the end. Even though the mill of justice grinds slowly in Nigeria, but it grinds surely.
Okay, I'm actually going to hold you on that one, sir. All right, the angle I want us to focus on today is this. Now, when I talked about killings and unlawful detention of journalists and pressmen, and most times just normal individuals, when I talked about that, I talked about that in regards to, should I say, certain authorities in the country.
Yeah.
Now, I'm saying this because now we're not just talking of people infringing on the rights of other people, or saying things to disturb the peace or create like a state of anarchy. Now we're saying this, that we've seen a lot of newsmen or we've seen a lot of men of the press actually go out there and ask questions that every citizen of this country wants answers to. But now, probably because these questions do not sit well with the authorities in question, they find a way to do away with these men of the press. Now, that's the angle that we're going to be looking at. As far as I'm concerned, that's actually an ill in the society, because it's, like you said, it's actually infringing on the right of these people to freely express things that matter, to freely ask questions that everybody wants answers to. So that's the angle I want us to be looking at today, actually.
Yes. Okay. I have, a couple of times read in the news where pressmen, I actually don't want to just limit it to pressmen, can only progress if they are constructively criticized.
Of course.
And who does all of this? And through which medium do we do that? It is through individuals, it is from the individuals through the press. I can categorically tell you that every state governor and even the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mr. President, reads the newspaper and listens to the news. And it is through this medium that they get feedbacks as to what individuals feel about the government. And if the members of the press are not allowed to exercise their right freely in bringing information from the people to the government and from the government back to the people, then we have a sorry situation on our hands. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
we have a big problem on our hands because there will be a breach in communication. The government can't get to the people, and most likely the people can't get to the government. And the moment there's a breach in communication, then there's bound to be problems. Naturally, there will be problems because the people will say the government is not listening to us. And the government will say, oh, but we've been trying to send information to you. But the people will say, no, we've not gotten any information.
Because there's no one
to carry out this job of linking the government with the people. So I feel that we have to do more in ensuring that the provisions of the Constitution is well guided as regards the right of freedom of the right of freedom of individuals and the press to express their opinions and constructively criticize the government, because that is where we are going to get our development from.
Okay, Sarah, it feels like you're actually taking it towards the end already. We're going to take a breather right now. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll actually be looking at some instances where rights, freedom of individuals to express themselves have been infringed on. Do not go anywhere. This is still Even the Odds on your favorite radio station on the netwave. My name is Akanem. This is African Patriot Radio, and you already know I'm not alone in the studio. I still have Barrister David Adinoye with me.
Thank you.
And we've been talking about the general concept of freedom of expression in Nigeria, and he's been able to enlighten us on a lot of things, the provisions of the law as regards freedom of expression in Nigeria. Before we went on that break, I actually said when we come back, we'll be looking at some instances where rights of individuals, be it pressmen or the common man around, instances where their rights have actually been infringed upon. That's the freedom of expression. That right has been infringed upon. All right. I think I said last year, June 4th, if I'm not mistaken. There was this issue that involved one of our security agencies now, and a certain journalist somewhere in Port Harcourt. Now, the issue on ground is that this journalist was actually arrested and detained and tortured for a while. And you might probably be wondering, what was his crime for this? Now, the thing is, he actually stumbled upon this security agent beating up a teenager somewhere in Port Harcourt, and he attempted to film it. Now, he's a journalist. It's their work to get stories and put it out there. So he attempted to film it, and that was where he got arrested and detained, and they tortured him. So there was really no I don't know if there was a crime committed there. I don't think there's a crime, but thank God, sir, you are a lawyer, so I think you're in the best position to tell us.
Okay. Yes. I probably don't have the details of that incident, but from what you've said, if a situation like that occurs, and then a journalist tries to carry out his function of maybe using his either mobile phone or camera to video the incident,
yes.
And then most likely publish it in the press, and the security agencies maybe in a bid to conceal the unlawful and illegal action that they were at the time involved in, arrest and detain, beat, and harass him beyond the constitutionally required period. I would say that the essence of the provision of this right is for the citizens to know what they are entitled to in law. The pressman, knowing his right to freedom of expression,
Yes.
and to hold an opinion and to even impart same on people, through probably the dissemination of that video coverage, has one option. And what is the option? This is not sentiment, this is not morality, it is the law.
Okay.
What option is open to someone whose right has been infringed upon? One option: you approach the court for the determination and enforcement of your fundamental human rights. The truth is, the court is so powerful that it doesn't care whose ox is God. If the law finds you wrongful or finds your action wrongful, the law won't hesitate to use the sword of justice on you. We've had countless number of times. We've also gone to court to enforce the fundamental human rights of people.
Okay.
Yes. If you were detained, because every citizen has a right, and that right has to do with right to freedom of movement. And you cannot infringe on that right by detaining an individual for more than 48 hours. That is the maximum. even where there's a reasonable suspicion of a commission of a crime. Within 48 hours, you are to charge the person to court. And if you don't do that, you have already infringed on the rights of the person. And the court, when it finds out that that right has been infringed upon, will hand down punitive damages on the offender. That is, in this case, the respondent, which most likely is the person who infringed on the right of the other person. So, in that particular scenario that you talked about, one option is open to the pressman. Approach the court. Like I said earlier on, and I still stand by, our meal of justice, especially in Nigeria, grinds slowly but surely. Yes. There are times it also grinds, very fast.
Isn't that a problem on its own, though?
It's for that. I would tell you that if we want to go into that, it's going to be it will take the whole day. But one thing I can assure you is that justice is still being served in Nigeria. Justice is still being served in Nigeria. So the option the pressman has is to approach the court for the enforcement of his fundamental human rights under the enforcement of fundamental human rights procedure. And if the court finds the security agencies acting beyond their powers, in law we call it acting ultra vires, acting beyond their powers, then damages, most times punitive damages, will be handed down. And like I have seen play out in court, it is in monetary sum. Something that when the offender pays, next time he would think twice before, infringing on the rights of another person.
Okay. I actually have another instance here, and this was sometime in May, 20th of May. We still had an instance where we had some of our security agencies arrest one journalist by the name Jones Abiri.
Okay.
Yeah, and now they arrested him in his house premises where he was with his friends. His office premises, where he was with his friends. And now the thing is, he was actually detained for about 5 months. He was detained for about 5 months, and imagine, he was arrested in May and he was eventually released in October. Now, I don't want to say he was just arrested, he was re-arrested. Now, the thing is, before then, I think there were accusations that he asked probing questions. There was a lot of that going on around. And now, the thing is, he continued to face charges. Now, they charged him with crime. They charged him with cyber crime, and that's part of it, and terrorism, amongst other crimes, actually. And now the thing is, before this thing happened last year, he actually spent 2 years already in prison without trial.
Okay. Now, like I still said, one thing in all of this, one thing is still very important: the fact that our security agencies have the right to arrest, investigate, and prosecute an individual upon the suspicion of having committed an offense.
Okay.
Now, I really do not know the details of the issues surrounding Abiri's arrest, detention, and prosecution. But one thing I can tell you is this: if like I said earlier on, you feel that your right as an individual has been infringed upon, you can approach the court. But most times, the security agencies might arrest an individual for the commission of a crime. They have the right to do that. It's a right they have. In as much as you have a right to freedom of expression, they also have the right to arrest and detain. This is I want to go legally first, then we can now come to a little bit of morality. Because law and morality work hand in hand.
Okay.
Though, yes, even though there are two streams whose water, they flow in the same direction, but their water never mix.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, they flow in the same direction, but their water never mix.
I was going to ask that.
Yes. But one thing is this: some of the bases of our laws are based on morality. but we won't go into that. That's like a philosophical discourse.
No,
But
okay.
I would talk on what the law expects, and then what as human beings we also expect. So now, if Mr. Abiri feels, oh, my right has been infringed upon, I was detained for 5 months without trial, and then most likely without even a remand order, because I actually don't know the court that would give a remand order for 5 months. Without a remand order, the best option is for him to constitute a legal team, head to the court, and file for the enforcement of his fundamental human rights. And if the court feels, oh, his fundamental human rights has been infringed upon, the court is favor, and whatever other judgments that will follow will most likely also go in his favor as regards the enforcement of his fundamental human rights, which is on the issue of damages and the rest. But one thing I will tell you is this: the security agencies have a right, but most times these rights are abused. But it is left for the court and the court alone to say these rights have been abused, because the court is the only institution in the land.
Even if it takes years, because you made mention of the fact that
Yes.
it probably takes like longer period of
Takes-
time as justice system.
Our justice system takes a little while. Why did I say that? Because we have procedural steps. Now, the essence of this procedure is to safeguard the interest of everybody, to make sure that everything is well taken care of. But for fundamental human rights, like I said, it is in law we call it sui generis. It's in a class of its own.
Okay.
Ordinarily, when you file a suit for the enforcement of fundamental human rights, by the provisions of the law, everything ought to be concluded in about a month.
Okay.
Because I don't have the rule handy here, but once you file the application and same is assigned to a judge, the respondent, who is the person who has reasonably been suspected to have infringed upon your right, has just 5 days to file a counter affidavit to the the motion for enforcement of fundamental human rights. And within about 7 days, the court ought to hear the application and hand down a ruling. So for fundamental human rights, without any extraneous factor, within a short period, I can assure you that the court can hand down a verdict on it.
Okay.
So it doesn't take till eternity to get a judgment.
All right. Well, I don't want to say we'll take your word for it, but we have heard you and we'll still be looking into it. Now, I feel like we've been hammering a lot on the angle of individuals, oppressed men, probably asking questions that they shouldn't ask, or maybe supposedly or allegedly committing crimes in the process. Now, I actually stumbled upon this story earlier today. Some of our celebrities, the popular ones we know, I think it was Don Jazzy, Tiwa Savage. Now, they were actually invited, they were called in by the DSS. They were invited in for questioning. Or not questioning though, more like they were warned. And the same thing in Lagos as well. The Commissioner of Police actually invited the singer Waje and Yemi Alade in, and then warned them to stay away from making political comments so they don't risk incurring the wrath of the present administration. So my question here is this: if as Nigerians, if as citizens of this country, we see things that are not all right, that are not going well for us in the country, shouldn't we, or don't we have the right to speak up and say this is what is going wrong? Thank God for technology. There's the advent of social media and everybody actually making use of these platforms to air their opinions and put their points out there. Don't we have the right as citizens to do this?
About the invitation of some of the celebrities you mentioned by the DSS and the police, I, in all sincerity, do not have facts as to that, but let me just go down to the issue of having the right to express your opinion when you see a misnomer in the country. This still brings us to Section 39 of the Constitution. Now, I made mention of something, subsection 2, which
Yes.
read, said, without prejudice to the generality of subsection 1 of this section, every person shall. When the word shall is used in the provision of a law, it connotes mandatoriness, like shall.
Okay.
It doesn't give room for any other thing. Shall. It means that way or no other way.
Okay.
Without prejudice to the generality of subsection 1 of this section, every person shall be entitled to own, establish, and operate any medium for the dissemination of information, ideas, and opinions. Now, when you say any medium, any means everything is included.
Okay.
Which means social media, because I'm actually going to social media because that's the one that touches the current generation. Everybody is on social media, because you would be seen as an outlaw if most likely you're not even on any social media platform. Now, so the law allows you as an individual to use any medium to express your opinion, insofar as it does not contravene the provision of any of our criminal statutes, which is, for example, saying something that will incite public unrest. You get? But you have a right to criticize the government. If you feel this policy that has just been handed down by the government is not in the people and the country at large, you have a right to speak up. It's a right that you have, and you can use your social media handle to do that. And if the security agencies come after you, then you have your backing in law, knowing that you have not contravened any provision of our criminal statutes.
Okay.
You get? So every individual has that right to express their opinion on an issue.
So in an issue like this now, like for instance, the one I just gave now of the celebrities being told to be careful of what they do, we actually fast spent some time. So for an issue like this now, they posted, obviously made political comments online and all, and then they were warned to be careful if they do not want to unleash the wrath of the present administration. Now, the question is, how do you feel we can actually go about an issue like this? Now, we all have opinions we want to air, but then there is that side of our authorities saying, hey, be careful, you do not want to, it's like you don't want to step on the toes of the people at the top.
Okay, now I'll be very when it comes to expressing your opinion and standing by it, naturally there are consequences. Some persons will not be happy, most likely, if that opinion is true and it speaks truth to powers that be. So if as an individual you feel that your opinion matters on an issue, and that opinion, in quote, does not offend any of the provisions of our criminal statute, because you have to also be very careful of what you post.
Okay.
That's why I use the word constructive criticism. You don't just say it open-ended. You can't just go and say, oh, this government is bad. How I wish we can rise up, take arms, and overthrow the government. That's like an example.
Yeah.
So if you make statements like that, you have already contravened the provisions of our criminal statutes. So you have to also be wary of the opinion you post. It must be constructive. Even if you must criticize the government, you must criticize the government with good language. You get languages that do not suggest violence.
Of course.
You get? So if you must express your opinion, constructively do that. And if you're ready to do that, then you should also be prepared for anything that comes with it, because most times they will come and test the waters. I don't know if you get, oh, this person made so comment, we want to bring him in for questioning. Why did you make such a statement? And if you are able to prove that your statement has not offended any of our criminal statutes, any of the provisions of our criminal statutes, then you are good to go. And if the security agencies fail to stop there and they want to detain you for more than the constitutionally required period, you have the court to head to enforce your right, because it is your inalienable right as a human being to express your opinion.
All right, sir. Thank you very much. Well, you heard it there from Barrister Seidu David Adinoye. He's been my guest in the studio today on the program, Even the Odds. You've heard it from him. We all have the right to, the freedom to express ourselves, as long as it does not go contrary to the provisions of the law. Like he said, if you must criticize, make sure you do it constructively. This has been Even the Odds. My name is still Akanem. This is African Patriot Radio. Do not go anywhere, because we still have a lineup of interesting programs for you, for your listening pleasure. Coming up shortly is the Midday Convos. This is where I actually draw the curtains on Even the Odds now. But do not go anywhere, because I will be right back.
Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. It's all for you. Batman Louis, I know you got your own. You don't need nobody's stress. You say you good all by yourself. You don't need nobody else. Fina man, who could think of anything better than you? Fina man, who could think I'm in love with you? Fina man, who could think of anything better than you? Fina man, who could think of anything? I did for you. Yeah, now you. Even when I sleep, now you. Even when you feel true. Take you to the moon and back, the moon and back. I want you. I knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the one just to find you, find you, find you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the one just to find you, find you, find you. I know you got your own. You don't need nobody's stress. Stay you good all by yourself. You don't need nobody else. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. Girl, I know they want you. I just want to remind you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the wall. Just to find you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the wall. Just to find you.
Alexis Media.
From the start, them they tell me, say definitely I go blow. Every time then they hear my sound, then they come ask me for more. Now the love I receive all true, they bring me tears of joy. Baba God, I dey beg you, oh, say you make my heart so pure. Oh, I change my story. Now my prayer every day, make you change my story. Let your blessings come my way, change my story. Now my prayer every day, make you change my story. Oh, I make you change my story. I see Goni Bobo come. Every day we walk and pray, no darling. Them ask me when I go shine. Oh, I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day we walk and pray, no darling. Them ask me when I go blow. Oh, man, I've been doing this shit for a long time. Been not too easy, sure you know that. Sharp money, my love will bill. Money on my mind every minute. All of my life I've been working on it. Mama used to tell me I could make it. Oh Lord, I keep praying for the blessings. Only watching my story today. From nothing up to something. I did pray for your blessings, yeah. For your blessings. Only watching my story today. I'm my prayer every day. From nothing to something. I did pray for your blessings, yeah. I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day we walk and pray, oh darling. Them ask me when I go shine. Oh, I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day we walk and pray, oh darling. Them ask me when I go blow. Oh, change my story today. Right now I dey hear my sound. Oluwa change my story today. From nothing to something. I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day we walk and pray, no darling. Them ask me when I go shine. Oh, Oluwa. I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day and night, yeah. Them ask me when I go blow.
She move my day bed, don't it. Oh yeah, everybody get their own story. Kira kita odola la yeah. If you're making that dough, you know me shalaye.
Hustle go pay mo ragba lagbade. No one man mo po body check at your shit. If you think it, you can make it. Enter studio and start to make it. Omo, I believe and then I made it. One name you liché and then I break it. Mo ma lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Mo ma lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Mama told me, boy, this life ain't no easy go. This life when I turn by, turn make it count, give it meaning go. I quick to check on my DJ, Baba show me the way, magic way. Authority, LA, Papa Dakun Joe, Dakun by me. Tell me the reason say this ain't got no go far. Tell me the reason I no get back. It show you I know the reason I'm look at. See for your eyes, see my nigga I go blow pa. Mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lówó lọ́wọ́ mo máa kọ́lé mọ́lé níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Mo máa lówó lọ́wọ́ mo máa kọ́lé mọ́lé níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lówó lọ́wọ́ mo máa kọ́lé mọ́lé níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda.
I remain your extraordinary DJ Elegant. Let's go. Now so, may all and all our prayers be answered. Division is right. Let's go. Now so.
This sounds art amazing.
Raise the roof. Danny Ace for no mix, yo.
Oh, Danny Ace, the magic finger.
Hey, yo, Caribbean. Telling me no shoot back, me no rebound. But the looking at your eye be like you Egyptian. Yelling like your style, she a swim for your ocean. Backside big like a bumper. Mine smell bright like a Santa. She no do no silicon. Be you silly boy. She fi do the dirty wine. Man down, gunshot for your area. Boom, 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 gunshot in the area. Bend the drip on the back, she a tempter. Pour some ice, galley hot like a boiler. She a controller. She no DJ, but she fi a control ya. AI girl with the A1 sound coming through blazing. Them a call a girl trailblazer. Whoosh, she a fight for her tune. Them a call a fortune. Tell them man I call a fortune. Tell them man I call a fortune.
He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. I'll strike like a thunder. Just for your wife, see no blunder. See me, I'll fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter. Girl strike like a thunder, just for your wife, see no blunder. See me, I'll fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter. Me casa su casa. Whenever he call me, catch you guys later. So what on the beat and F up your speakers. No apologies, I life up your stickers. What you wanna do, but massa vodka. Either way I whoop ya, come ask me later. So come ask me later. Nina London girl, South Brick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crit, on the rhythm savage mood. Good book brick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B. Nina London girl, South Brick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crit, on the rhythm savage mood. Good brick, telling me the showstopper. Look good, B. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. I'll strike like a thunder. Just for your wife, see no blunder. See me, I'll fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Angelo. Narokesh. You want it, your way,
It's Blaze and the Big Baby.
One man fit carry plenty woman. Hypocrite around and say I'm mystical. Me, I know sound I like to do, man. It no matter if they identical. Like as you Melanie, Angelina, oh my Jolie. On this booted on my medallion, she they give me on a daily. I like it like as you Melanie, Angelina, oh my Jolie. On this booted on my medallion, she they give me on a daily. Them say I too ugly, the guy them come around. See the guy them come around. Them say I too ugly. As I make you money, the guy them come around. The guy them come around. Angelina kill it person. Angelina tie mama. Angelina kill it person. My Angelina oh no. Angelina kill it person. Angelina tie mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh yeah na na. Sikira oh sikira. Yetinde oh yetinde ah. Sikira, oh, yeah, Sikira. The way you give me the comparada. Sikira, oh, Sikira, show. Sikira, oh, Sikira. Sikira, oh, Sikira. Like as you, Melanie. Angelina, oh, my Jolie. On this booted on my medallion. She they give me on a daily. I like it like as you, Melanie. Angelina, oh, my Jolie. On this booted on my medallion. She they give me on a daily. Them say I too ugly, as I make you money, the guy them come around. See the guy them come around. Them say I too ugly, as I make you money, the guy them come around. See the guy them come around. Angelina kill it person. Angelina tie mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh no. Angelina kill it person. Angelina tie mama. Angelina kill it person. Angelina oh yeah na 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 oh la 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 oh la 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 oh la la oh la la
It's Victory and the Bits.
Dun 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 dun. Angelo, Vanessa. When I think I'll leave the answer. What the valima, oh. That's how we get to Allah. Not until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey, we zero wahala. Not until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey, we zero wahala. She the boss my brain like. Yeah. Love Muna Kigebi. That push up on me, yeah. For your love, I don't grow, yeah. Marry me, let's born children. Hold my hands, let me take you there. That push up on me, yeah. For your love, I don't grow, yeah. Marry me, let's born children. Hold my hands, let me. Auntie Vanessa. When I think I'll leave the answer. What the valima, oh. That's how we get to Allah. Not until I I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey, we zero wahala. Not until I met Fatima. My baby girl, she the answer. My baby give me assurance. Hey.
Okay, so it is that last segment I talked about. The one I mentioned earlier when I said if you feel like chilling out a bit, just tone it down a bit and just chill, get to know each other. I told you to catch me on the last hour of this segment of the midday Patriots, actually the midday belt. I told you to catch me there, and I feel like a lot of you just been waiting for that segment. That's not fair. I mean, you have been chilling with me since 12 up until this moment. Well, this is still African Patriot Radio, and yes, the segment I'm talking about is the midday combo. Woo! Okay. Well, like I said, I've been saying it since. My name is M. I want to get to know you. This is the segment where I want to get to know you, like one-on-one. I don't mean that biblically though, but you know what I mean. I told you my name. I want to know your name. I want to know where you're watching from, where you're listening from. I want to know something about you. Just say something. Don't forget, you can also send a shout out to whoever you like or don't segment. Be it a loved one, a family, friend. Send a shout out to someone celebrating something, a birthday, anniversary, a promotion, or they're just celebrating, probably because maybe they are Yorubas. Yorubas like to celebrate a lot. They're not far from there too. Alrighty, don't forget, you can send a shout out to whoever you want, and we'll make sure they get it. I mean, that's what I'm here for. I'm just here to chill. So you know how we do on the midday combos. I'm gonna drop the question of the day, and I want to get your responses. I want to get to understand your thought processes. So you drop a comment when I read the question of the day. You drop a comment. I want to know what you think, or I want to understand how you think. Let me put it that way. Remember, this is still African Patriot Radio, and you can do that. You can drop a comment. All you have to do is, first up, follow us across all social media platforms and Facebook and YouTube at African Patriot Radio. You can also tweet at us at African Patriot 7. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So don't forget, when I read out the question of the day, all you have to do is drop your comment in the comment section across all of our social media platforms that I just gave you now here on African Patriot Radio. The question of the day today is... There's nobody to do drum roll for me, but I'm going to do it myself. I think I'm getting better at this. Well, the question of the day is, would you rather make more money but be busier, or make less money but be less busy? Now the key word here is busy. That's the key word. Now you're making more money. Question again is, would you rather make more money but be busier, or make less money but be less busy? Now see, before we started off stream today. We told you it's Wise Wednesday. Today is Wednesday. We're giving you wise vibes. So choose wisely. So if for the rest of your life you had to choose one, you had to make a choice from these options given, would you actually choose to be busier for the rest of your life? Like you don't have time to do any other thing. It just has to be work, and but you still you make more money. Or would you actually have time for yourself and just chill? You don't have so much to do, and now work and the pay, and then you just don't get as much as you would if you were busier. Now that's the question of the day. Would you rather, again I take it, would you rather make more money but be busier? Pardon me, I take that again. Would you rather make more money but be busier, or make less money but be less busy? Well, that's the question. I kind of feel like it's easier, although some people are going to say, she has come again now. She has pushed us to one corner. That's not what I'm doing. Like I said, I just want to understand your thought processes. Remember, all you have to do is drop us leave me a comment. Actually, this is just me. Tell me what option you're going to go for. Would you, just think about it. Just think about it. Make sure you make a wise decision with the options you haven't got now. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. You know how we do on this segment. Lots of music and video comments. I really hope I could hear some of your voices right now. It would be good, actually. So wherever you're watching from, wherever you're listening from, I want to know you. Just, hey, tell me your name. I said my name is M. It hasn't changed. I want to know what your name is. I want to know where you're listening from, where you're commenting from, where you're watching from. Just tell me. And don't forget sending your shout outs. Hey, if you don't have anyone to send a shout out to, I'm here. I'm someone. I thought we're friends. Send a shout out to me. Just say hi, Em. You know me. I always say hi back. All right, let's get right into the music. This one is Show My Joe by Bizaki.
I'm gonna show my Joe, show my Joe. All the girl I put down for my body, oh. Driving me crazy, oh. My Joe. I'm gonna show my Joe, oh, oh. All the girl I put down for my body, oh. Driving me crazy. It's so cute. It's so cute. In every show, it's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. In every show, it's so cute. It's so cute. Pull up in a rollie, so the shorty them a feel me wanna come over. I'm in a Range Rover, no time. Pull up in my G's and we chillin' and we police in a game over. We in a Range Rover, no time. Good love is all I wanna give you tonight. Tonight, oh no. Pull up is a killer home, so you no go there alone, you go there alright. Alright, no time. So baby give me one ting. Baby give me one ting. I'ma give me slow wine ting. When I pull up in a fine ting. She said biz a killer one ting. She tell me say she like my tea, but all the girls then they rush my tea. Anytime I pull up in the show, I'ma get show my Joe, show my Joe. All the girls I put down for my body, oh. Driving me crazy, oh. My Joe, I'ma get show my Joe, oh, oh. All the girls I put down for my body, oh. Driving me crazy. It's so cute. It's so cute. In every show, it's so cute. So cute. It's so cute. It's so cute. In every show, it's so cute. It's so. Girl, I'm falling. Your name I'm calling. Oh no, girl, I'm falling. Your name I'm calling to turn it up. It's so cute. It's so cute. In every show, it's so cute. 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 In every show, it's so cute. Baby girl, come wine for me. Bust it down and wine for me. Make you know they shy for me. No they shy for me. Yeah, wine for me. Baby girl, come wine for me. Bust it down and wine for me. Make you know they shy for me. No they shy for me. Yeah, come on. I just want to come on. Baby, come, baby, come on. Our bodies go join body. Come on. I just want to come on. Baby, come, baby, come on. Our bodies go join body.
Shorty find her, no be my man. Check her lifestyle, she's only gonna take you out. Baby, come and be the wifey. I be like the mighty keeper, spice the life. Come with me, more could go federal. Whooping jet lag like moving generals. I got a pretty swag in the duffel bag, making other guys act like they wanna hack. Here comes the proposal, baby. Matter of fact, my money might be a maybe. Our love moving up like the ABCs. Angels on the run when they're on my list. With me, you gon' look so fine. You more than that when you were Rockstar Pride. I really wanna take you home and tell my mama wanna make you mine.
Come on, I just want to come on. Baby, come, baby, come on. Our bodies go join body. Come on, I just want to come on. Baby, come, baby, come on. Our bodies go join body. This kind of vibe, they do me like, oh, they do me like. They do me like something shook me for body. This kind of vibe, they do me like. They do me like something shook me for body. She a mother, bad girl, killer with the vibe. Good energy, she a drink every night. When she shut down the doors and dim up the light, bang get it and they happen inside. Yes, make kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, baby. Kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, kiss me, baby. Come God, I just want to come God. Baby, come, baby, come God. Our bodies go join body. Come God, I just want to come God. Baby, come God. Our bodies go join body. Come God, I just want to come God. Baby, come God. Our bodies go join body.
It's legendary mix on the beat.
Work hard all day, but that's no pay. Oh, I did pray to God, me also they pay you one day. Work hard all day, but that's no pay. Oh, I did pray to God, me also they pay you one day.
Okay, this is still the Midday Converse on African Patriot Radio. Well, on the Midday Patriot, well, Midday Belt. Alrighty, well, the Midday Converse still, and well, I've been seeing a lot of comments coming in already. Well, I'm going to say it here. If you're just tuning in, well, welcome. You missed a lot, though. I'm not going to lie. You missed a lot. But you know what they say? It's better late than never. So if you're just tuning in, welcome. My name is M. And I keep saying in the segment, I just want to get to know you. Not biblically. Yeah, I keep saying that. All right, I want to get to know you. I told you my name. I want to know your name. I want to know where you're watching from. I want to know where you're listening from. Yeah, just tell me something about yourself. And like I said, feel free to send a shout out to whoever you want. Probably because you haven't heard from that person in a while, or you just want the person to know, hey, I'm still thinking about you, or I think about you a lot, or the person's probably celebrating something, your birth. Now, this one is actually about pandas. Now, did you know that pandas that are in captivity, in captivity actually. So, captive pandas actually sometimes fake pregnancies. Yeah, you might be wondering, I mean, that's like, why? Why would they do that? Well, I'm going to tell you why. Well, pandas sometimes carry on showing symptoms that are synonymous with early pregnancy after noticing the kind of treatment they get when they are in captivity. Now, the thing is, when I say captivity, a lot of people are thinking probably chains, ropes, and all of that. Most times when pandas are kept, they actually give them like very good treatment. I mean, the pandas, they're supposed to be nice, you understand? So now they actually start pretending to show signs that are synonymous with signs that of early pregnancy after noticing the kind of preferential treatments they are giving. And now we're taking such treatments like private accommodation, maybe air conditioning, extra food they get, all of this. So when they notice the way they're being taken care of, as opposed to what they get in the wild, they sometimes start faking or start showing signs of pregnancy. They fake pregnancies actually, so you pamper them all the more. Yes. Okay. And bonus fact to this is that in captivity, giant pandas can actually live up to 35 years compared to when they're in the wild. In the wild, they only live for 15 years when they're in the wild. Hey, I bet you didn't know that, but now you know. You can thank me later. This is still the Midday Combos on African Patriot Radio. Let's get back to the music. When I come back, I'll be taking some of your comments. Do not go anywhere.
Pen and paper, I'm writing songs. Hoping say one day I'm gonna blow. Pen and paper, I'm writing songs. I know say talent for street them yagba, but give me the grace to stand out. Talent for street them yagba, but give me the strength to fight. I know I got what it takes. I'm gonna blow your mind. I know I got what it takes. Oh no. I know I got what it takes. I'm gonna blow your mind. I know I got what it takes. Work hard all day, but that's no pay. Oh, I pray to God, me also they pay you one day. All day, but that's no pay. Oh, I pray to God, me also.
Crossing in Medu, no be high class, I'm just conductor. Mesum nipa bada, they pray to the father. Every move make it lead me to my helper. She ram me son, Juma make her prosper. Many girls, it go hard to find a lover. The day I go hit, I go sing Hosanna. Yeah, name in fede day. I can oh yeah chong. Yeah oh I walk. I can oh yeah chong. I buy new car. Oh yeah chong. I can oh yeah chong. Oh yeah chong. Name in fede day. I can oh yeah chong. Yeah oh I walk. I can oh yeah chong. I buy new car. Oh yeah chong. I can oh yeah chong. Oh yeah chong. Patase. Sometimes I dey borrow shoes with the shotos to party. You don't know the saddest. As this nigga got the point, them are showing 90s. Menese campo amenante. If you have to miss me, my friend, I'm mente. Or brasha, say me the free fante. Cape cool, sock, but I could be winning in Fede. I can hold it strong. Yeah, oh, I walk. I can hold it strong. I buy new car. Oh, yeah, strong. I can hold it strong. Oh, yeah, strong. I'm in Fede. I can hold it strong. Yeah, oh, I walk. I can hold it strong. I buy new car. Oh, yeah, strong. I can hold it strong. Oh, yeah, strong. Come on, Junior, me, I go deliver. I know come across to come be a viewer. This crash is not gonna make me a loser. Shit, I do work out like Yokozuna. Cause I know one day you go better. People will go benefit with those without the border. The nights you sleep lonely on the sofa. Sugar solution, bread with the butter. What kept your name in Fede? I can hold it strong. Yeah, oh, I walk. I can hold it strong. I buy new car. Oh, yeah, strong. I can hold it strong. Oh, yeah, strong. I'm in Fede. I can hold it strong. Yeah, oh, I walk. I can hold it strong. I buy new car. Oh, yeah, strong. I can hold it strong. Oh, yeah, strong. I know they love pizza. I know they love burger. Crossing in Medukrom Mama Kwaba. No be high class, I'm just conductor. Mesum nipa bada, they pray to the father. Every move make it lead me to my helper. She ram me son, Juma make her prosper. Many girls, it go hard to find a lover. The day I go hit, I go sing Hosanna. Yeah, name in Fede day. I can hold it strong. Yeah, oh, I walk. I can hold it strong.
Okay, seriously, come on. But well, I understand how you think now. Thanks for actually dropping a comment. Thanks for being a part of the program. Well, don't worry, you will not die in Jesus' name. Amen. Well, before your time. All I know is, well, thank you. Everybody's all about the money today for whatever reason. But well, you know what they say? Money actually answers it all. Sometimes that's all I can say. All right, I'm gonna give you another fun fact though. Well, I bet you didn't know that some insects, well, small insects actually, some insects and small birds see the world in slow motion. Somebody's probably thinking, wait, are they like in a movie? Do they think it's a movie or something? Now, I'm going to tell you why. Now, this is actually because they process information so quickly that they perceive time as though it is in slow motion. So that's why they see the world like that. They're small, but the rate at which they process information is so fast, it's so quick that every other
See my baby, don't leave me so. Nah, nah, nah. Cause my beg, I did beg you. Boluwati fair, don't leave me. I beg, I did beg you. Boluwati fair, don't leave me. I beg, I did beg you. Follow up, you don't go. Charge that move, not slow go. I never jungle, I don't pep. You see my eyes, I don't go. Follow up, you don't go. Charge that move, not slow go. I never jungle, I don't pep. You see my eyes, I don't go. Give them the lamba, shook mommy. Give them the samba, shook mommy. Oh yeah, give them the lamba, shook mommy. Give them the lamba, shook mommy. Oh yeah, give them the lamba, shook mommy. Shook mommy, where is it? Another hit, another one. With 40 so alama, we giving them straight for the buy. Alaji come change my dollar. And they see them, where they see them. And then as they come through, we they burn them. Fire go they burn them, fire burn them. Anyhow when you beat them, we go touch them. Yeah, my enemies go draw like okra. I know that they feel it the bass. So this music go sound like pop. A baby come dancing my bass. So I gon' make you shaku like soccer. Baby, you make me take grace. So this time I want you for me. No time, baby girl, I want you for me. Chim chim. Bolu wall up, put on go. Charge that move now slow mo. I never jungle, I don't pep. You see my eyes, I don't go. Bolu wall up, put on go. Charge that move now slow mo. I never jungle, I don't pep. You see my eyes, I don't go. Baby, go down, when sorry, Wally. We go there together to be calling Molly. Bolu come down, and go Wally. I jump my lap, I jay Molly. Down, when sorry, Wally. We go there together to be calling Molly.
Bad girl in other place, Queen A.
Sounds amazing.
Raise the roof. Danny Ace, wanna mix Tell her me no shoot back, me no rebound. But the looking at your eye be like you Egyptian. Yelling like your style, she a swim for your ocean. Backside big like a bumper, mine smell bright like a Santa. She no do no silly cat, for your silly boy. She fi do the dirty wine, man down, gunshot for your area. Boom, 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 gunshot in the area. Bend the drip on the back, she a tempter. Pour some ice, galley hot like a boiler. She a controller, she no DJ, but she fi a control ya. AI girl with the A1 sound coming through blazing. Them a color girl trailblazer. Whoosh, she a fight for her tune, them a color fuck you. Tell them man a color fuck you. Tell them man a color fuck you.
He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. I'll strike like a thunder. Just for your wife, see no blunder. See me, I'll fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter. Bad girl strike like a thunder. Just for your wife, see no blunder. See me, I'll fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter. Me casa su casa. Whenever he call me, catch you guys later. So what on the beat and left up the speakers. No apologies, I left up the stickers. What you wanna do, but must vodka. Either way I whoop ya, come ask me later. So come ask me later. Nina London girl, South Rick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crick, turn the rhythm savage mood. Good book Rick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B. Nina London girl, South Rick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crick, turn the rhythm savage mood. Good book Rick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B. Nina London girl, South Rick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crick, turn the rhythm savage mood. Good book Rick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B. Nina London girl, South Rick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crick, turn the rhythm savage mood. Good book Rick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B. Nina London girl, South Rick. Got you feel the lockdown mood. Good book crick, turn the rhythm savage mood. Good book Rick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B.
Okay, wait. Another fun fact before we actually go. Well, I bet you didn't know that men are actually 23% more likely to be left-handed than women. I know some people are probably saying, hey, but most of the left-handed people I know are women. But hey, men are actually 23% more likely to be left-handed compared to women. Now, this means that being a left-handed lady in the world right now is actually incredible. So, I mean, you gotta own it. It's actually incredible. Like, it is actually incredibly rare. Let me put it that way now. Now, this is because only 10% now in the world, the population of the world is actually seen that I think it's only about 10% of the world's population that is actually left-handed. Yeah. So yeah, only 10% of the world's population is left-handed. Now, imagine 10% of that, and then you're a lady, you're a left-handed guy. I have to tell you, forget, you are rare. You gotta own it. Well, I guess you didn't know that. Now you know. I mean, I know someone that's left-handed. I mean, she comes here, you probably don't know, but next time I see her, I'm gonna tell her, girl, you're incredibly rare. I'm going to tell her that. All right, back to the question of the day. Question again, I'm going to repeat, is would you rather make more money but be busier, or make less money but be less busy? I see your comments coming in, and I'm gonna be taking. Okay, I still have a couple I need to deal with, so I would actually go into that. Okay, I got this comment. Alright, this one's from Justin Paul. I was finally able to open her comment. This is from Justin Paul. What's up, girl? I see you, star girl. And she says, hard work pays on a low key. On a low key? Okay. Hard work pays on a low key. I'd rather make more money and still be busy. Hashtag hustle no fit kill anybody. Guy, like, I mean, I feel like I've ended the church. Should we close it? No? Okay. We have one more comment actually. This is from Chris Gang Slim X. Hey, what's up, Slim? I see you, man. And he says, sure you know you are doing well. Give me a moment. I need a moment to laugh and take this in. Like, allow me to smile and enjoy it. He said I'm doing well. Alright, he says, sure you know you are doing well. He says, Yoruba say, oh, Nikoko. He took the watch, but I don't. And then he says, Namoni be my papa name now. Guy, I hope your father knows you've changed his name, though. I mean, he probably didn't know, but you should tell him so someone doesn't start calling him, hey, money, and then he doesn't know he's the one you're talking to. Well, thanks, man, for stopping by. Thanks for your comments, actually. We were fast spent on time. It was great hanging with you all the way from 12 noon up until this moment. Yes, I got to skedaddle because I like to call him the human giraffe, but don't let him hear me. Yeah, I said that on air, sorry. But someone is going to come drive me out of the studio right now. So I got to say my bye-byes before he gets here. And, well, before I leave, my shout out actually goes to everyone who's tuned in today, everyone who's sent in a comment, everyone who's been part of this, everyone who's commented, who sent a shout out. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna mention names. A shout out goes to Second. A shout out goes to Imam. A shout out goes to Elvis Soga, to Victor, Incredible Smoke, to Hemba, Josephine Paul, Chris, Slim X, man. Thanks you guys for tuning in. To everyone who decided to, just participate on a low key or just watch and be. We talked about bench warming, and someone said the other day it's better to warm the bench in heaven than to warm it anywhere. So you can be bench warmer. It's all right. The most important thing is that you tuned in and you were a part of this. My name still remains M. I'm going to be signing out right now, but do not go anywhere. Keep staying tuned to African Patriot Radio because the Sunset Patriot actually have a lineup of other interesting programs for you. Yes.
Spoiling my eyebrow. You know I see the P now my guy T-Brown. If you don't get the money, make you double your hustle. Double your hustle. And if you double your hustle, whether you go to see what goes around must surely come around. What do we go do, say? Surely come around. What do we go do, say? We go buy dance. We go buy dance. We go buy dance. We go buy dance. So what do we go do? We go buy dance. We go buy dance. I be chilling in the corner when I get money. Wearing Gucci and Prada when I get money. They know say the boy don't hammer. Big boys, we know they drive on the holla. See, I be chilling in the corner when I get money. Wearing Gucci and Prada when I get money. They know say the boy don't hammer. We go buy all the bar, we go run them back to back. Every day and night I the hustle make the money. Make the money and I dey pray, Baba God make you make my hustle pay. If you get the money, what thing we go do, sir? We go buy dance, we go buy dance. We go buy dance, we go buy dance. So what thing we go do, we go buy dance, we go buy dance. We go buy dance, we go buy dance. If you get the money, what thing we go do, nah? We no go drink the water. Steady champagne, no more kai kai. No more taxi, no more Uber. AMG, no Honda. Was class from J-Town to Lagos. See all the girls now, not them, they rush us. See a Mac and she just a gun body. She said she want be my somebody. I remember last time she and you made it snub me. Now we are getting money, we go do say. Now we are getting money, we go do say. We go buy dance, we go buy dance. with MD, J-Town. Yeah, we go make money, I be. Hey, BJ, we go buy that. Behave, we go buy that. Lagos, we go buy that. We go make
Them girl know what it feel like when man jump on the beat.
Can I jump on the beat? Oh yeah. Can I jump on the beat? Wait for a minute. Pop solo and a better jacks on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. You can even do the shaku shaku on the beat. Wait for a minute. Pop solo and a better jacks on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. You can do the shaku shaku dance on the beat. Jump on the beat. Wine on the beat. Rump on the beat. Me I do a long jump on the beat. Jump on the beat. Jump on the beat. Wine on the beat. Rump on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. Pop solo and Imperial Jacks on the beat. Yeah, you know what it is when it's pop on the beat. Wondering what I'ma do to the beat. Murder. I'm eliminating the beat. Drop punch lines on the beat. Multi-syllables, wordplay on the beat. The flow sick, I'ma throw up on the beat. I feel just even cook my freestyle to the beat. Freestyle to the beat. I feel to knack on the beat. Motherfucker beat, I can come on the beat. Hit a hard while listening to the beat. Make sure she does a ring tune on the beat. Pop to the solo on the beat. Radio stations are putting this on repeat. On repeat. I don't have to say your word on the beat. If I cough on the beat, the song is a hit. Wait for a minute, pop solo and a better jacks on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. You can even do the shaku shaku on the beat. Wait for a minute, pop solo and a better jacks on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. You can do the shaku shaku dance on the beat.
Jump on the beat, the girl say Jagga don't stop killing me. Physically finish me, nigga lyrically. Lot of man them mimic me, the delivery. Isn't he the best J-Town down to Sicily? Can imprison me visibly, I'm a military. My ability niggas blessed by divinity. The girl say Jagga can't stop killing me. Flow is imagery, them I know it's a trilogy. Jump on the beat. The bad girl smoke blunt on the street. We roll out, we are hunt for the freak. For girl at the back to at the front of the jeep. Do the so big the vehicle, I crawl and it creep. Jagga work hard, some a ball, them a sleep. Jack on the beat, fall from a cliff. Many men can't flow, them a skull, them a stiff. Still one line, me I call them a thief. After them go and fall if them split. And good lord, them a call Jimmy Cliff. Puff them a sip, lot of them skip. Come fuck up your trip. Jump on the beat, cause of that shorty got the song on repeat. She say a lot of things wrong in a week. Jump on the beat, funk on the beat. Hotter than skunk in the heat. Boom.
Wait for a minute, pop solo and a better jacks on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. You can even do the shaku shaku on the beat. Wait for a minute, pop solo and a better jacks on the beat. Take the whole of quick and make the wine to the beat. You can do the shaku shaku dance on the beat. You can dab on the beat, you can nay, you can wave to the beat. Yeah, do the wacko sauce, get the boot to the beat. You can do the shaku shaku dance on the beat. Absolutely nothing wrong with the beat. Wrong way mothers can catch walk to the beat. Yeah, the underdogs can cipher on the beat. It's right little, but I can speak in tongues on the beat. I was nominated to.
Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's up. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. It's all for you. It's all for you.
Batman Louis, I know you got your own. I know you
got you wrong. You don't need nobody's stress. You say you good all by yourself. You don't need nobody else. Finna man, who could think of anything better than you? Finna man, who could think I'm in love with you? Finna man, who could think of anything better than you? Finna man, who could think of anything? Yeah, now you. Even when I sleep, now you. Even when you feel true. Take you to the moon and back, the moon and back. Want you. I just want to remind you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the wall, just to find you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the wall, just to find you. I know you got your own. You don't need nobody's stress. Stay you good all by yourself. You don't need nobody else. Cars, you got it. House, you got it. Shoes, you got it. Looks, you got it. Sexy body, flex on anybody. Girl, I know want you. I just want to remind you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the wall, just to find you. I'm knocking on heaven's door, and soon I go break the wall, just to find you.
Alexis Media.
From the start, them they tell me, say definitely I go blow. Every time they numb, they come ask me for more. Now the love I receive all true, they bring me tears of joy. Baba God, I beg you, say you make my heart so pure. Although I change my story, now my prayer every day, make you change my story. Let your blessings come my way, change my story. Now my prayer every day, make you change my story. Oh, I make you change my story. I see good when I go shine. Oh, Sikoni bobo nko. Every day we walk and pray, oh darling. They ask me when I go blow. Oh, man, I've been doing this shit for a long time. Been not so easy, sure you know that. Sharp money, my love will bill. Money on my mind, every minute. All of my life, I've been working on it. Mama used to tell me I could make it. Oh Lord, I keep praying for your blessings. Only watching my story today. From nothing up to something. I did pray for your blessings, yeah. For your blessings. Only watching my story today. I might pray every day. From nothing to something. I did pray for your blessings, yeah. I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day we walk and pray, oh darling. Them ask me when I go shine. Oh, I see Koni Bobo Nko. Every day we walk and pray, oh darling. Them ask me when I go blow. Oh, only watching my story today. Right now I dey hear my sound. Only watching my story today. From nothing to something. I see Koni Bobo Nko.
salvation. Oh, Olúwa ló wà. Àsìkò ní gbogbo nǹkan. Every day and night, say, they ask me when I go blow. Oh, Olúwa ló wà.
She move my debit, don't need. Oh yeah, everybody get their own story. Oh. Yeah. Kira kita odola la yeah. If you're making that dough, you know me shalaye. Ozu go pay mo ragbalagba day. No one mamu po body check and your shit. If you think it, you can make it. Enter studio and start to make it. Omo, I believe and then I made it. One emulation and then I break it. Mo ma lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Mo ma lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́gàn máa tún yan fanda. Mama told me, boy, this life ain't no easy go. This life on a turn by turn, make it count, give it meaning go. I pray to check on my DJ, Baba show me the way. Magic way, authority, LA, Papa Dakun Joe, Dakun by me. Let me the reason this thing I no go far. Let me the reason I no get back. It show you I know the reason I'm look at. See for your eyes, see my nigga I go blow pa. Mo ma lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Mo ma lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda. Lowo lowo, mo ma kole mole níwájú ẹlẹ́yà máa tún yan fanda.
I remain your extraordinary DJ Elegant. Let's go. Nasu, may all and all our prayers be answered. Division is right. Let's go. Nasu.
This sounds amazing.
Raise the roof. Danny Ace wanna mix yo.
Oh, Danny Ace, the magic finger.
Hey yo, Caribbean, telling me no shoot back, me no rerun. But the looking at your eye be like you Egyptian. Yelling like your style, she a swim for your ocean. Backside big like a bumper, fine smile bright like a Santa. She no do no silly hand, be you silly boy. She fi do no dirty wine, man down, gunshot for your area. Boom boom boom, gunshot in the area. Bend the drip on the back, she a tempter. Pour some ice, galley hot like a boiler. She a controller, she no DJ, but she fi a control ya. AI girl with the A1 sound coming through blazing. Them a color girl trailblazer. Whoosh, she a fight for her tune, them a color fortune. Tell them man I call a fuck you. Tell them man I call a fuck you.
We just wanna let them know. We just wanna let them know. We just wanna let them know who I be. We just wanna let them know. We just wanna let them know. We just wanna let them know who I be. I'll strike like a thunder. Just for your wine, see no blunder. See me I fight for your matter. Me the ganja pass a lighter. Girl strike like a thunder, just for your wine, see no blunder. See me I fight for your matter, me the ganja as a lighter.
Me casa su casa, whenever he call me, catch you guys later. So what on the beat and F up your speakers. No apologies, I life up your stickers. What you wanna do, but massa vodka. Either way I whoop ya, come ask me later. So come ask me later. Nina London girl, South brick. Got you fit the lockdown mood. Good book crick, turn the rhythm savage mood. Good book brick, telling me a showstopper. Look good, B. Nina London London girl, South break. Got you fit the lockdown mood. Good book crate, on the rhythm savage mood. Good break, telling me the showstopper. Look good, babe.
He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know. He just wanna let them know who I be. Bad girl strike like a thunder. Just for your wine, see no blunder. See me a fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter. Bad girl strike like a thunder. Just for your wine, see no blunder. See me a fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter. Bad girl strike like a thunder. Just for your wine, see no blunder. See me a fight for your matter. Me the ganja as a lighter.
And the wire, but bang 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 say, now realize, girl you're good and very very nice, very very nice. On top of your matter, oh, I personalize, girl our future, I don't visualize, girl. See, I be thinking about you, girl, every day and night, and the lovely things you do, you they control my mind, girl. Oh yeah, baby, give me good loving, 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 You the champagne me. For the lovely things you do, you the champagne me. But I can't you go, baby champagne me. For the lovely things you do, you the champagne me. And I'll never let you go. Money back let me see you making me go.
And of course, you know what time is it? This is still your number one radio station, African Patriot Radio. Studio time check is exactly 3:15 p.m. this beautiful Wednesday afternoon, the second day in the month of September 2020. And it's that moment for the Sunset Patriot to take you on a beautiful ride for 3 hours non-stop between now and 6 o'clock. My name is Elvis Ogan. You already know how we roll up in this dial every time we hit the dance floor.
Afternoon, Elvis. It's so interesting to be here. I'm so excited. I'm so super excited. Thank God it's Wednesday, and thank God we are here to make sure that you have the best of every single moment.
I can actually tell you're feeling so refreshed because it's been a while we did this together.
You know?
I can feel the vibe. The vibe is so alive, and we're about to keep the group actually seeing a different point in time where people don't really pay attention to that. They try to maybe compensate people for their
to do better than the predecessor.
All right, I'm trying to see where we've seen some level of sentiment being attached to whatever we do from this part of the world. Maybe owing to the fact that we are actually multicultural, multi-ethnic, and what have you. So most times when appointments are being made, we normally don't look at it. It's quite unfortunate though. We don't normally look at it from
the merit side,
yes, or the qualification side of it. We tend to look at what is this person's affiliation with the powers that be.
Personal sentiments.
You get.
Yes.
So, but I think they saw to that maybe some of those criticism may come in, and we've seen where they made point, or they actually made reference to a part of constitution to check the legality of this appointment. Talking about this particular